Finally, Jennifer manages to make time to relax just a bit.
Oh, they're calling me until my hair washed. So here we are, and this is still in, God, where are we? We are in, forgotten. Oh, I'm so tired. I'll tell you in a minute. I've remembered we're in, I just about said Cavendish. I've remembered we're in Istanbul. Anyway, my hair's irritated me and it's flat, probably something to do with all the awful shampoos that I've had in my hair. So it's nice to have a treat and have my hair washed properly. Then I'm going for a snooze, then we're going to pick up Gordon. Bye.
We're pleased with ourselves for getting here to Istanbul. Crossing the Bosphorus has brought us home. Europe starts right on that bridge. Maybe we're not quite in our own world yet. The movie Midnight Express suggests that if you get arrested here, you can be routinely beaten. Authority in Turkey wears no velvet glove, and that can add colour to your afternoon. One of our French drivers, Paul, has just seen a French film crew get into trouble. They were trying to meet up with him over on that bridge.
They were actually held up seconds before they had actually seen us and they were getting ready to film us when the cameraman felt something in his bag, quite painful, thought it was one of his chums goofing around, turns around with a great big swipe of the van to find a very ugly and very cross-looking militia police stroke army man with the barrel of his machine gun in his spine. So he got grabbed by the shoulder. It hurt, so he swore at him in French, and got hit with the butt of the machine gun on his drum and said, he just about managed to save the camera.
In the evening, there's a reception in our honour. If contrasts give flavour to life, then our nights in freezing tents in the Himalayas were salt, and this is sugar. There's Andy from Alabama. There's Francesca after her day off. And there's Lord Montague. The drinks are on the house, there's a banquet waiting, and Turkish entertainment. This is too much for the Italian guys still working outside on their Lancia. Fabio had to come in for this. Early on day 36, many have already spent an hour down in the laundry trying to find their clothes. No hotel can cope with all our washing. Jennifer's got Gordon going, and Francesca said goodbye to her husband. Rosie is wearily ready for the road. Paul and John are checking the penalty points. They're really very simple.
10%. 6 minutes in an hour. 6 and 60.
Yeah.
There's 10% difference.
So that would be sort of, say 45 and 50 kind of difference. Yeah. I don't say 46, 45 to 50, that's your 10%.
What is clear is who is leading.
A lovely morning. We were up terribly early. The Italians are very sad. They have had 2 hours sleep and their car's making a noise already. It's one of the bearings, I think, on a piston. We lost a bit in translation, but I don't know if they're going to make it tonight. They're very sad. And so will we be if they don't make it. And the sun rise on the left is gorgeous. I can't show you because I don't suppose you'll be able to see it. We'll do a quick slot round. There we are.
There's plenty of things to up and look at in Greece, in Turkey. Yeah. I think the tide's in.
It's always in.
All right.
Mediterranean.
Of course it is, yeah. I'll come back here anyway. Whether I'm master or not, I'll come back to Turkey.
By the time we reach the frontier with Greece, memories of Turkey are already fading. But the belly dancer probably isn't quite forgotten by everybody, and neither is last night's banquet.
Which was excellent, and the blinis were very rich.
The blinis.
Yeah, you know, it has that like pancake with caviar and butter and sour cream.
That's a blini.
Can you smell Paris yet?
No. Let us, I think from Ancona, the smell of sort of snails and frogs' legs will slowly be drifting along until we've crossed that little stretch of water. No, it's still sort of ouzo and souvlaki and things like that, which will fill our nostrils.
How are you two getting on this morning?
Pretty badly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh?
You heard it here at first, folks.
What is it?
Oh, I didn't get the carne out. That was all. You're not definitely not knowing my age.
So you've slowed things up a bit, have you?
No, aren't you?
Eh?
You're 56 and 55.
What?
Right.
Thank you for that useful comment.
So have you done badly this morning?
No, we've done fine.
What's the problem then?
I don't know. Creative people. Kind of up and down. What are we? We're not oh, vacation. Duration of stay in Turkey, 3 days, was it? You're not helping much.
That Rosie could sulk for England. A car we haven't seen for a long time is Tony Buckingham's Aston Martin, number 79. Our route from Peking to Paris, displayed there, doesn't suit Tony.
Where have you been?
Where have we been? We decided to make a run for it from Isfahan, and we drove straight through Iran, straight across the border, and got into Turkey, into Istanbul at about 9 o'clock Monday evening, and stayed at the Kempinski Hotel. Had a lovely time, did all the sights, and it's great fun.
You don't seem to be taking this rally very seriously.
Is anybody? Is it to be taken seriously? One asks himself. No, we've rejoined it now, so we're back in the pack until our next little escapade.
When might that be?
We don't know. We have to see how it goes. See what the hotels are like.
Running second is one of the Fords. With mountains ahead, does Ted Thomas think he can catch the Jeep?
I'm going to have to pick up 4 minutes on him, which means I can't do that in one section, so I think it's going to probably take a couple, if we can do it.
And this is the mountains we're talking
That's
about.
right. The steeper the better. He's pretty tough to beat.
Right,
Yeah.
but you should be able to go faster.
I can go faster up the mountain if it's a high, a steep incline.
I mean,
Right.
you can't be beaten by a mere Jeep.
I hope not. We're going to give it a good try.
There's the other Ford Coupe. Even if they don't beat the Jeep, they might at least win the team prize.
lent to us by Theodore, who is happily home, as we told you earlier. It's looking rather gloomy.
I'm feeling a bit tired. About 8,000 miles done, I reckon, and 2,000 to come. At least my car's running well. David Bulls is making a worrying noise.
I've had some problems this morning. I think I've got my alternators. Sounds as if it's the bearings going on it, but we'll have to see. And also I'm getting a bit of a grumbling rumble from the back axle. But we're just driving steady along and we're in good time.
Thank you.
And that was the Intrepid 2, just been out for a pee break. Have you done now? It's just cost us half an hour. I don't know why you can't hold it.
Tall stories again.
I don't know why you can't hold it until we then we'll get there. It's only another 100 and some kilometres.
We've just got to be grateful that he stopped, Helen, that's all. Yes, yes, and I am ever He's just too good to us.
The day's warming up now. It feels better.
It's now Saturday afternoon at around 2:30 and we're rolling along through Greece. It is absolutely beautiful here.
By evening, we're at Thessaloniki with a hotel by the sea. The 70-year-old Bugatti has had 1,000 breakdowns, but its driver, Walter, keeps nursing the little car along.
Have you had a breakdown?
Yeah, in the front of the hotel. We thought we ran out of fuel, but it was not. It's our daily problem, the ignition. The fingers are not tight enough on that thing, and it shakes down, and then it turns, and then the engine stops. And if it turns a little bit, you get all this black dust inside here, and you have to clean it up.
Do you think this poor old lady is really going to make it to Paris?
In mind, we play with the idea, of course. Every day more, but yeah, I hope she makes it. We came over so much difficulties up to now, and I think the last difficulties now should make it. It's 2 millimillimeters. What's 2 millimillimeters anymore? It's nothing.
Head to head, the Jeep and the Ford. The Ford is fast, the Jeep is rugged. The rally director thinks the Jeep has done pretty well.
The crew are more than justified in feeling proud of their achievement because of the adversity they've overcome. They haven't got the comfort of a saloon with a heater and all of these things. You've seen the freezing conditions and the heat and everything else. So the fact that they're still fit and Fingers is driving well is largely down to him.
Ted Thomas and Fingers Phil. Only 4 minutes between them on time penalties.
Right. Who's going to win? I have a clue. These guys, if they don't fall down. Because who's got the better engineering and the better maintenance, would you say? I don't know. Phil's pretty hard to beat. He's in the lead.
He's in.
So, you know, he's doing well. So.
Very, very gallant chaps, these American cousins of ours, aren't they? Jolly nice chaps. Yeah. If he hiccups, we'll be there. I think that's the best way to say it.
If your car's okay, the reward is time to unwind by the pool.
Hey, you can't hurt him. The only one he's got. Not hit him on the head anyway. Get it back up.
This one has got.
Give the lady that one and bring another.
It's October, but Anton braves the pool.
Have you heard about the hand grenades? Well, you know the AK-47s that we bought in Zahaden? Yeah? Well, I decided to trade mine for a box of hand grenades and a rocket launcher. Okay?
Day 37 has got off to a prickly start for Fingers Phil. At breakfast, instead of eating the hotel croissants, he asked for a tissue to wrap them in so he could save them for lunch on the road.
So I said I wanted to take some croissants for lunch. Oh, no, don't take food out. No. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, Christ, he's not even listening, this guy. I said, look, I can either stand here and stuff it in my mouth and take it out, or I can take it out of my hand. Now, I'm a customer. Don't you want to really satisfy your customer? Because you cannot take, it is directed, you cannot take food out of a restaurant. I said, what the hell difference does it make whether I take the food out of my belly or take it out of my hand? I said, I'm not going to be coming back here for lunch, so you're not losing anything. I'm going to be 300 bloody clicks up the road. All I want is a tissue. Now, do you want to satisfy this customer, or do you want to make this customer very, very angry? And he said, okay, vamos. And he came back with a tissue.
We haven't had any real hills to deal with since Baluchistan.
Paul and Paul said, whatever you do, just don't let your brakes get hot when you go down the hill. So we'll see what we can do about that. I was having 4 sets of advice about tyre pressures this morning, and Collinson, who's such a darling, came by and said, Jennifer, you have got here on a wing and a prayer, so what does it matter now? You'll manage. Just get on. So I smiled and said thank you, and we did.
Here comes Fingers Phil, not worrying too much about what might be coming the other way, because not far behind us is you-know-who.
£10 per goat.
Oh.
Well, they're being very orderly, walking up the edge.
Yeah. Perhaps they've seen what happens to
tickling away.
Them that don't.
Will Fingers Phil hold the lead for England? Or is a car that used to be driven by gangsters running bootleg liquor, is the big mean Ford from Alabama going to get him? We've been finding that life on the road beats a crash diet.
Now, a lot of people have said that they've lost a lot of weight over the course of the rally so far. Now they aim to put it on. I mean, what's your
that's a shame, isn't it? It's the same.
Yeah.
Lost about 4 or 5 and now I'm back on the normal size. That's all right.
4 or 5 pounds or kilos?
Kilos.
You lost that much?
Oh, yeah. Goes fast. But we must enjoy here the wonderful food, the bread, the wine, the life, just everything.
Maria glides through everything and leaves the struggling to others. This Volvo has whacked a bridge and crumpled its front wing. The nearer we get to Paris, the more we cosset our old bangers to get them home. Failure at this stage would be awful. In their Rover, the Bull family have a worrying noise.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. I've got, I don't know that I've got a problem. I think the alternator's screaming a bit. And I've got a bit of a drone on the back axle, or the back wheels, and I don't know if it's bearings
and your brake lights
or the
still
differential, or whether it's just a tyre that's got damaged inside. So I'm just nursing it a bit today. And, you know, every section you do, there's one less, so I've got to try and keep my average speed up. But every day There's a day less in it.
In the back of the Rover, of course, is David's mother-in-law, Helen.
You said a long time ago, many miles ago, that you look forward to being chauffeur-driven from Peking to Paris. Does it feel like that?
Yes, very much so. I have my nest there at the back where I'm secured, and I have my drink, and I have all my pens, and I have a notebook, and the route book. Map, yes.
And steel tubing right in front of your face.
Well, yes, but it's something to hold on to while you're whizzing round corners, hairpin bends.
You really are enjoying yourself, aren't you?
Immensely, yes.
Thank you.
It's really worth being invited to come on this.
Just 6 days to go to Paris. Who is leading? When all the time penalties are totted up, it's still the 1948 Jeep driven by Fingers Phil of England. But hot on his tail is Ted Thomas of the United States in his mighty Ford. Here it comes, and there it goes. Into the lead at last. But the Ford has got to make up 4 minutes, or the Jeep has got to lose 4 minutes on penalties by failing to meet its schedule, before the Ford will actually be in first place. At the end of the dirt road section, the rivals cheerfully flex their muscles about it.
It was exciting.
Yeah, yeah, it was. We broke the front end loose, and that was fun. And, excuse me.
That's a euphemism.
He tried to wear the steering wheel out.
Yes. The bloody knob bashed me fingers. How are those fingers doing? Well, they were all doing all right until the knob and the wheel comes spinning back and bang. It's not quite what I said at the time.
Philip Young, the rally director, the ringmaster, is watching the show. His show.
What does it do for you watching them go past like that?
A sense of relief, really, that we've got so many running. Look at this. Just look at this. 8-litre Bentley. Isn't this marvellous? Come on, come on.
Now we're on to more dirt roads on the route used by a more local affair, the Acropolis Rally, sliding into a sea of gravel. There are the Chelsea girls in their 1964 Volvo, pursued by Howard Bellham's 1968 Camaro, nearly 5.5 litres of impatient American machinery.
Here come the Camaro boys, so I'm going to let them go, otherwise they'll probably head on with the only other car on the road. I'll just in a second let them go on past. Here they go. And there they went. A little bit of stereo arm waving.
The song of the Bentley burbles out over the land of Zeus and Hercules and Aristotle and Socrates. But we are travelling, let's admit it, in the spirit of Mr. Toad. We roar along, vroom vroom, poop poop, with cheering in our ears and inane grins on our faces. Even we have to notice the monasteries of Meteora on their perilous pinnacles.
Just to hold them up more, like you're looking at it.
You have 2 minutes.
High on the right, Greek priests are meditating on the meaning of life. Down here on Earth, 2 English women are focused on nothing except getting to the next time control inside 203 minutes since they left the last one.
Thank you.
1320. Why have you written it in there?
Why not? Tea time.
Sorry, 66, that's correct. We've written it in where we should be.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
You will. 45 minutes from your restaurant stand.
Thank you. We made it, but only with 2 minutes if we stopped for photographs. No way.
They are slaves to an iron discipline of time and place, and the marshals are cruel. After 9,000 miles, a woman in a Morris will discover that. Those marshals even wish the roads were rougher.
If that had been gravel all the way, it would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be gravel all the way across.
Yeah, that's
Only
right.
quite recently.
Yeah.
But European funds are destroying rally roads.
For the woman from the Morris, the moment of truth is coming.
You could stop my book, please.
Oh, you're just touring around now, are you?
No, we're not. But we didn't have a time book, so.
No, because
you didn't start
you
yesterday.
know why, don't you?
You didn't restart
You
yesterday.
know you're excluded from the entire event.
Oh,
You didn't start in Kathmandu. I think
In
that's
what?
what it is. Kathmandu.
From
Istanbul.
But we did explain why.
No, but that doesn't matter.
If you don't restart,
If you've got to restart.
But we asked.
Talk to Colin this
We
evening
did
about
actually
it.
ask
Talk to Colin, it's his
about it.
area.
Ah, you started from Peking. How many days still here?
About 40 days.
40. Κοιτάρε τι κάνουν. 40 μέρες μέχρι εδώ που το Πεκίνο.
What do you think about that?
It's extraordinary. It's fascinating. I'm really impressed, huh?
Melissa Ong presses on in her pretty little Porsche. What keeps everyone enslaved is that if you fail to keep to the time set, you'll lose your chance of a gold medal. And if you fail too badly, you'll be excluded altogether, like the Morris Minor woman. We've come a long way now to get excluded.
So yeah, we're the best of both worlds.
I've come to think of Kjell Jessen from Denmark as Brigadier General Jessen of the 1st of Foot. He plays the Englishman with panache. This is a man who has a recording of his Bentley's engine to play when he's away. I feel honoured when he wants my opinion about a mysterious vibration that's troubling the great car.
If you put your hand here, you can feel it. Special tricks fun. I'm not telling you how I do it. Then they will all start. But this is when you see a nice young girl on a bicycle in the village. She was a trick here. She falls off.
Clutch disc, clutch driven plate. M38A1. Clutch driven plate.
Where are you going?
To the ferry.
Oh. This is a rally or something?
Yes. Yeah. Peking to Paris.
Fingers Phil has a bad vibration that is genuine. He thinks his clutch is going. That could easily destroy his lead. So when he happens to pass a Jeep dealer's yard, it's time for action.
But how long will it take to get that off? As quickly as we can, pull the clutch.
I'll work out how much time we've got in hand. But the estimate here is half an hour. I think we can spare that much. Definitely. Basically, at the moment, we're about 33 minutes ahead of the clock. We're 120 kilometers into the section, and the section is at 2:21, so we've got 100k to go. We're going to attempt to get out of here within half an hour. So it's now 12 o'clock exactly, and we want to leave by 12:32. All right, 23 minutes in.
Yeah. What did we give him?
10,000 drachma, which is about 24 pounds.